StreamYard really wants me to upgrade my plan.
Right? It's not happening.
Not happening.
I'm gonna keep the 720p.
It's like, you know how they have those charts and they always have like all the little checks of everything you get and all the stuff you don't. It's like, I'm good with the 4 checks.
I'm good.
I'm good with the 4 out of 15 checks.
What is good, everybody? My name is Jade Fox. Y'all tune into my video. I appreciate you for doing that. I want to thank Evelyn for coming through and spitting a little bit, okay? This full unedited version, it's an hour long. You can see all the jokes that were made before and during that were not up in here. You can see all the questions and everything that we talked about that is not here. I don't even know how long this video is, but I guarantee you it's about three times as long on my Patreon right now. And you can get a slice if you go on over to the Patreon. I have these live streams every single month, along with other exclusive content, podcasts going up, blogs going up, and just a bunch of other stuff. You get information on what's going on with me and my life. Jade will be up in there too. And so I wanted to intro the video by saying that appreciate you for coming here. Link for my Patreon is gonna be down in the description. It's only $5 for a little bit, but you can get $10, get a whole lot more. You can get the whole kit and caboodle. You can get whatever you want, okay, for the 10. Just throw me the 10. I'd also like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. Let's go ahead and get into this discussion. Is YouTube it? Because I don't know.
These are the only 2 things I drink. And this is like what I'm drinking 70% of the time.
That coffee?
Yeah, cold brew.
Wow, I could never.
Are you not a coffee person?
No, I'll jump off a building.
So you just wake up and you just raw energy.
I raw dog life, yeah.
That's great.
I also don't smoke, so I'm one of those.
You are a capable human being.
I'm experiencing reality at all times.
Today we're going to be talking about, is being an influencer healthy? Is it toxic? But I want to know, because you made it out. Do you feel like since you've made the pivot that you're less stressed? And I know that you've kind of taken on new responsibilities to replace the old ones, basically, with, just new direction that you want to go in and everything. But yeah, like, do you feel like it was a good move? Do you feel like it was smart? Do you feel like you got the timing right and everything?
I feel like I got the timing right for sure. Am I less stressed? No, because I realized we're in October now. Let's just say that, and it took me until now to realize just how deeply ingrained like YouTubery culture is ingrained in me. Mm-hmm. And like, sure, I disappeared, but my brain never disappeared. Like, I never actually stopped thinking about being relevant. How am I going to pop up again? How am I going to gain those metrics again? Is the algorithm going to like me? And all those things. And so it's like, while I wasn't uploading as frequently, my brain was in overdrive, because it's like, your worth, like, if this is your job and like you're unable to do your job, then who are you? Then what are you doing?
Right.
Kind of the feeling that I had. So
do you feel like, so I'm in the space right now where YouTube is a job. Like, I have placed it in that part of my mind. And for some reason, when I do that, it makes it less stressful and easier, because I'm just making everything a to-do list at this point.
Yeah.
So that's just how I made it easier for me. When you were kind of like in that last phase, of YouTube as full-time, did you see it as something that like that needed to be something that was like personal to you, or that like it needed to be something that was more than just a job? Or what, did it kind of migrate to that space where it's just like, oh, I'm no longer like passionate about this, therefore it's just a job?
Yeah, I mean, what I struggled with was, because I watch a lot of YouTube. And so I watch people and I'm like, dang, why can't I just be like them and just like put my mind to it and crank it the hell out? Like, why can't I treat it? Because I worked my previous job before I went full time was I was the head of the video department for a company. So like, I'm like, why can't I just treat it like my old job, which is just like cranking it out? Who cares? The sales team sells a video. Now I got to make the video.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I can't feel a type way about it. And the reason for that is because I'm in charge of everything. Whereas at my old job, I was only in charge of really one part, which was making the video. But now it's like I have to strategically think, and I'm my own boss, but I'm also the employee. And so for me, it's not about necessarily passion. I just feel like I haven't found that thing that I want to crank out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'll be watching your channel, and you have 2 channels, and I watch the Made You Look channel. I'm like, dang, like how come? Like I feel like what I just didn't know what to do. I don't know like what I'm doing this for,
Mm-hmm.
other than I know how. So
Right.
for me, it's this weird thing. It's like it's not necessarily passion. It's just like purpose. Because I don't have to be passionate if I have a purpose. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know you wanted to be a writer like when you started your channel, or is that something that you found out along your journey within YouTube? Or outside of YouTube, I guess.
So I knew I always wanted to be a writer, but I didn't attach it to my YouTube in the very beginning. I thought YouTube was like where I would come to be myself, and writing would be something I would do as my job. Because in the beginning I didn't really know what YouTube was. I didn't know like you could put your stuff on there and people could watch. I thought it was just kind of a place to put your stuff so you could get a link and send it to the person you actually wanted to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I always knew I would be a writer of some sort. I always knew I would work in media. I went to journalism school. I thought I was gonna like work for Rolling Stone or something and be that girl, following the rappers around,
Mm-hmm.
making little documentaries. And so, but over time, I was like, oh, like I can tell my own stories, and I can talk about my own experiences, my own, memories and stuff. And so it kind of formed over time, but I always knew I would be in media.
You always did a really good job of, I'm going to compare you to Beyonce right now. You have always done a really good job of putting the product first and then the person second. So it's like the product is, oh, Evelyn, she's funny, smack your lip, La Krugs, all of that. And I think that you were a source of entertainment before you were like, well, you were never a source of tea, but like, you were a source of entertainment first, right?
Yeah.
And there might be like a personal story sprinkled in there, but you always kind of remained like, there's always been a healthy distance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm asking you, did you ever feel like the urge to close that gap in a bit because of like low performance or, just low views, whatever? Like, did you ever feel like, oh, maybe it's time to like spice it up? Maybe it's time to up the ante?
Absolutely. It's how many years ago? Maybe like 2015, 16. I was dead set on like having a like fake, like people would know it's fake, but it would still be entertaining relationship. And so like I thought that was the way it was going to be, like satire, but it was going to be real, but it was going to be satire. And so I was like, I need like a relationship. I need something. I need to talk about something personal, or like the semblance of being personal. So yeah, I to this day, I'm like, should I? No. I still dream of, popping up on Instagram with a 3-year-old. That's still my dream. I still don't want to all the way. I don't want to give everything away because when you make YouTube videos, like especially when you make storytelling videos and like you were saying, things that we have to take out of our soul, you don't end up owning much anymore. And so I feel like what I can own are my like personal relationships, off camera. So it's tempting. It is tempting. And I've been tempted, but I can't do it. I can't do it.
God bless close friends,
Oh,
because
hallelujah.
so many trips I've watched happen, so many relationships I've seen happen, so many like messy things I've seen happen over the last year. And I'm not talking about from Evelyn, just like over across everybody's close friends. Like I enjoy the tea. You can trust me.
Right? I'm not gonna say nothing.
I ain't gonna say shit.
Have you ever felt like,
of course,
rewarded? Yeah.
Of course. I am the worst when it comes to like being the bigger person. I don't believe in it. I think that's the real pandemic. Being the bigger person is fraud. So yeah, I'm like, fuck this. I'm saying everything all out now. Or on the other side of the spectrum is I just be in the moment. That's my problem. I be in the moment. I be like really happy, really joyous, or I'm like really in love in that moment. And I'm like, shit, like I just gotta like spread the news. Yay. Like, so yeah, but that's what the remove button is for.
Yep.
That good old private button.
As me and Evelyn have this conversation, I just want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring everything that I have made in this process, in this time of me being on YouTube and switching what I'm doing. I was doing sketches. Where the sketches at, Jade? Bitch, I don't know. They not here no more, but Squarespace got my back. Squarespace supporting me. Squarespace said, and I'm gonna stick beside them. As of right now, we're still doing the digital content creation thing, still trying to put my best foot forward out there and really just see what else is out there for me. But I know that regardless of what business moves I make, Squarespace is going to have my back and provide a space for me to be able to conduct that business. Hit my link in the description, you get 10% off, but go ahead, voice over Jade, let the people know what's really good.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. On the Jade Fox channel, we're all about that growth, you feel me? Squarespace provides an insight to the top traffic sources, products, device types, browsers, and operating systems by visits. This is especially helpful if you plan to sell things. I'm telling you, okay? If you've been making stuff, if you've been making like fringe bonnets and stuff like that, this is the perfect place to sell your product. Or if you make content, you can arrange the content in any way you like and you own everything. You can use one of the many templates that Squarespace provides for your content. And you can connect with your clients or audience through customized newsletters, as well as help people find you on social media through these cute little buttons provided by guess who? Squarespace girl. Use my code below and get 10% off. You see your vision, put it on a website so others can see it too. And thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Back to the program. When you tell people, or when you would tell people that you were a YouTuber, was that ever something that you didn't want to share with people?
Yes.
Is it because of shame?
Let me like search inside myself to answer honestly. I don't think it was because of shame. For me, I think it was because people have these weird preconceived notions. I think most regular people only know of like the person, their aunt who has a YouTube channel with 10 subscribers, and that's no shade. They only know of that, and then of the people with 7 billion views, right? And so when you say you're a YouTuber as your full-time job, they go to the big one. And so they assume things about how much money you make, like the lifestyle you have and all that. And I'm like, no, I'm closer, I'm like regular. Like
Mhm.
I'm living life. I'm not like I don't have a Lamborghini. I have a Toyota Corolla, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I always hesitated because I was like, what do you think this means? I just
Right.
make videos and put them on the internet. And like sometimes I make enough money, you know, you know. So yeah, it wasn't shame. Was it shame for you? Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Shame
Well,
about what?
it was, I mean, it's kind of deep. Cliff Notes version. So I started YouTube and I didn't tell anybody. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I I want somewhere where I could be myself. And so I like made my channel and I
Mm-hmm.
was out to like my friends and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
and it's never that I was afraid of telling family. I just didn't want to hear their opinions on it.
No, I feel you.
It's just like I don't care if you know what you know. I just don't want to talk to you about
Mhm.
it.
Right.
Um And so I made this channel, and for a long time, since it was like a secret from family, it did feel kind of dirty. It had
Mm-hmm.
this kind of like secret, dark
Yeah.
dirtiness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then years pass, and then I think getting older, because I'm 30 now,
Mm-hmm.
and it got me thinking like, ooh, is this weird? Like, is it weird being a YouTuber? And I'm not what's that dude? What's that guy's name? With the hair and the glasses. And he makes like really beautiful cinematic vlogs. Y'all know who I'm talking
Um,
about. Y'all know the white guy. But him, like I feel like there are certain like verticals within YouTube where if you are a full adult, no one
mhm.
thinks twice. But I think
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Casey Neistat, I think that's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, the New York guy?
Yeah, him.
You know, yeah.
And so like knowing that like, oh yeah, I talk about like gay shit, which usually is like I'm talking about lesbians and how I think they dress poorly and like, you know, like I'm like cracking jokes or whatever. And so
Mhm.
like it didn't seem like something that would be impressive or like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like something. It seemed like a job that wouldn't be taken seriously as a job, basically.
Mm. I mean,
And
I
so
still Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, and so, like, I feel like I definitely steered away from telling people that because then they would also immediately go and look up your shit, and it's just like watch it in front of you, and it's like, I didn't
Oh,
ask for
I
any
hate
of
it. I
this.
hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I, look back in my mind's eye, I do slash did have some like embarrassment. And that now that you say it, that's part of why I would call myself a digital storyteller. And it's like, bitch, you this whole video.
On the tube.
So it's like, yeah, I wanted to kind of distance myself from like, pranking my roommate type stuff. Like to me, that's what a YouTuber is,
Mhm.
as opposed to what I thought I wanted, what I thought I was is like I'm a writer who just so happens to make videos with my writing in it. So